Since childhood, we were taught that happiness is the destination, the reward after all the effort, sacrifice, rights, and wrongs. But what if happiness was never the end point at all, but just a trap? A loop of expectations we keep running inside. If that's true, then what is the real path? Many people have come to admit that, despite a lifetime of effort, they don't truly feel happy. Each year, and perhaps nearly every day, something comes along to break our stride. Power struggles at work, family complications, friends who feel distant or indifferent, anxiety that never really goes away, relationships that grow strained or go cold. These things form a basic layer of suffering, and then a second layer quickly forms on top. The painful belief that our unhappiness is somehow a violation of the true meaning of life. We're not just unhappy, we're pained by the fact that we're unhappy because we deeply believe we should have reached a state of lasting fulfillment by now. We're sad, yes, but more than that, we're depleted. Because in the quiet of our minds, we believe we've failed at the one thing any conscious, ambitious human being longs for: to live a meaningful and fulfilling life. So let me tell you a story about the cartographer of the wandering souls. At the far edge of the known world, where maps curl into the blankness of fog and old myths, stood a wooden cabin nestled between whispering pines and a river that forgot its name. In that quiet cabin lived a man known only as the cartographer of the wandering souls. He didn't predict the future. He didn't heal the sick. What he did was listen. People came to him not for answers, but for meaning, when their lives no longer fit the story they had once told themselves. He welcomed the divorced, the burned out, the almost famous but not quite, the artists who hadn't painted in years, the mothers who whispered, "I don't know who I am anymore," and the men who carried their rage like armor but secretly wanted to cry. He welcomed them all. Each person brought with them a heartbreak, but he didn't flinch. He simply pulled out an old map, one not of countries or roads, but of human lives. And on this map, there were no straight lines, only spirals, cracks, forks where people lost themselves and sometimes found something truer. One day, a young man arrived. His eyes were hollow in that way only exhaustion can carve. He had lost his job, his partner, and most painfully, the story he believed about himself. He sat in silence for a long time before whispering, "I've failed. I am almost 30, and I have nothing to show for it. Not success, not happiness. I feel like I've wasted everything." The cartographer looked at him kindly and said, "Happiness is not the compass, depth is." Then he handed the young man a blank piece of parchment. "Write your map," he said, "but don't leave out the nights you didn't sleep, the mornings you still got up anyway, the arguments you didn't escalate, the love you gave with no guarantee, the risks you took without applause. Those are the coordinates that matter." The young man looked confused, but something about the way the old man said it, so gently, so completely without judgment, made him pause. He took the parchment and he began to write. Years passed, and the young man, now older, still imperfect, still searching, had become a cartographer himself. He never wrote a bestseller, he never went viral, but people traveled days just to speak with him, because he understood something most people forget, that a good life isn't one free from pain, but one that's honest with it. That maybe we weren't meant to be calm all the time, or successful by 30, or married just once. That some of us are here not to have peaceful lives, but meaningful ones, etched with curiosity, resilience, and the beautiful ache of being human. You see, maybe we're not wrong for feeling broken. Maybe pain isn't a sign of failure, but proof that we're actually alive. Maybe not being settled by 30 or successful by 40 doesn't mean we're behind. It means we're swimming in the real ocean of life, without needing a lifeboat of illusions. No one teaches us that a good life can still be full of uncertainty, that you can wrestle with anxiety and still live a life that matters, that another heartbreak isn't the end, it's a deeper chapter, that not feeling happy most of the time can still be okay. Because we weren't born to live a peaceful life, we were born to live a true one. With all the mess, the breaking and the rising again from our own ashes. And if one day you find yourself on your deathbed, maybe you won't see a glittering resume. Maybe you won't remember how many people admired you. Maybe you'll even laugh at your seventh heartbreak, or the way you changed direction at 45 and still didn't feel settled. But if you look back and see this, that you never stopped searching even when no one waited for you at the end, that you dared to be real even when it hurt, that you chose truth over convenience, that you loved, forgave, and tried again, even when your heart was still healing, then maybe, just maybe, you'll smile and say, "My life wasn't always smooth, but it was vivid, deep, and never wasted. And to me, that's enough." So if today you feel a little lost, don't panic. You don't need the world's map. You just need to listen to the one inside you. Because every scar, every unexpected turn, every time you fell but kept going, they don't ruin your life. They are your life. So don't tear up your map just because it doesn't look like anyone else's. Keep writing it, and write it with all the honesty and courage you've got. Because sometimes, meaning isn't found at the destination. It's found in daring to draw your own map, across lands no one has ever named. And if you're somewhere in the middle of your journey and your map still feels unfinished, share a piece of your path below. Your story might just be the light someone else needs.